YouTube.
Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It is 17 minutes past 8 a.m. on a Feel Good Friday morning. It's the last day of the month of October 2025. And what a great way to sign out of the month talking about sports. My name is Ayokunmi. Great to have you with us in the locker room this morning. So much to talk about, so much to look forward to as well. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. So you need to jump up, strap up, and get ready to go. And you know that on this ride, it's not me alone because the one and only Tega Supreme is in the building, even though on Zoom. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, sir. Finally.
Woo! I wanted to break out into a song, but I just remember that my voice is it's not for everybody. It's for only the people that created it. You cannot complain about what you created. All right, so let me spare you people's ears. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so what is the first big news? All right. Um, Gist, we'll go to the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Paris. We'll talk about what's happening in Paris. We'll also talk about what's happening in football and all the drama, who's been cursed, who's not been cursed, whether football has left some people or whether it wasn't there before. They were
Mm,
just using the remnant of somebody else's oil. We'll talk
uh-huh.
about all of that. You know who I'm talking about, but we'll touch on it when we get into the story. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about weekend football, what's happening across Europe this weekend. But huge, huge deal, all right? So the Australian cricket team historically lost, well, the defending champions, world champions in cricket, lost to India. Oh, and those Indian girls were amazing. It was the it was the shock that they were able to pull off. First of all, they
Mm,
went into a game against the big dogs, and then they were trailing. So it was they were trailing and then they bounced back. So it was such a huge deal. Jemima Rodriguez was, I think, the architect of the comeback, but it was the way they
okay.
were celebrating it. It looked like Z World. So I've come to the conclusion that Indian people are just naturally dramatic. Because there were tears everywhere. She was crying, and the coaches were crying, and I'm just like, okay, this is real. There was it was look, I haven't
Oh
seen
my
that kind of
goodness.
celebration before. It was literally like an Indian movie. But congratulations to them. They're in the final. They play against South Africa. Question for the Indians in South Africa, though. Who would you support? South Africa or
Ah,
India?
that's a good question. That's a very good
I mean,
question.
because South Africa has the second largest settlement of Indians, and now they play against India in the World Cup cricket final. So who are you going to support? Well, that's for them to settle. But yeah, that was the big news. It was good to see. It was emotional. It was great. So I had to talk about it. Also, the NBA has started. Well, had started since, but the games are heating up. So if you are not watching any of the games, you are sitting on a long thing, is all I can say. All right. So a lot of sports going on around the world. We will touch on the few we are able to touch on, banter a few people here and there, but most in general, locker room is the place to be. So because locker room is the place to be, and we love to hear from you, Ayokunmi will tell us how you can be a part of the locker room this morning.
Yes, indeed, I will. Join us in the locker room this morning. Get your front row seats as well. Send us a message on YouTube and on WhatsApp as well. The YouTube platform is Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can leave your comments there. WhatsApp, the number is 0911 999 0981. 0911 999 0981. If you're just joining the locker room for the first time, you are definitely most welcome. All right, let's begin
Yeah.
this journey talking about Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has revealed that the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, has given him a new 2-year contract, extending his stay until 2027.
Makes sense. Something they should have done since after the WAFCON. Makes sense because the next WAFCON it's literally the next year in March. So you win the WAFCON in June 2025. The next WAFCON is March 2026. There are qualifiers in between. it would have been really tacky to start going to look for another coach to
Mm.
come and take the girls when the guy was winning. So yes, a contract just to make sure that everything is stabilized and settled, because you need that stability around the team.
Yeah.
So to have him in the contract, and then he knows that his job is secure, because once you have a contract, it's different from when you're on a wait and see.
Definitely.
So now he can plan, he can put in, he can put in a good structure, a good calendar, when to travel to be able to see the girls. If he can, they should be able to give him money to travel to see these girls, you know, around the world, and see how they are doing and how they are faring, so he knows what to do. So the planning, the structure, and all would be settled now that he has taken the job, and well deserved. I mean, if the coach takes a team to go and win the Africa Cup of Nations, coming from 2 goals down in the final, to beat the host. And the host is Morocco, where football development has increased exponentially.
Right.
He's very deserving of it, and then he qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations without calculator and prayer beads. Please,
Mm.
please. Just hand him the contract. So yes, hopefully he will not be old. NFF will be able to pay his salaries, and he'll be able to make his plans for training, friendlies, and all of that for the girls. And women's football will continue to develop. So good news for Justin Madugu and the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And well done,
Yes,
MNFF. Yeah. So when NFF doesn't do well, we flog them. But well
of
done.
course. Well done to
Because
them. I mean, when
when we are talking about women's football, we talk about all these things, and we think it's in Nigeria in isolation. Ghana, they are owing their national team. They're not owing the men, they're owing the women's national team. And so you look at that in South Africa, as great as South Africa is, and as forward moving as they are with sponsorship and all, they have still not signed a contract with their coach. They have been discussing it since. They have not concluded. So we are, at least on this note, we are a step ahead.
mm, it's not always greener on the other side. The grass is not
No,
always green on the other side, as they say.
it's not.
All right, let's temporarily leave football, head into the world of tennis, and talk about the Sinner. Yes, Yannick Sinner. He eased past Argentine world number 21 Francisco Cerundolo 7-5, 6-1 in the third round of the Paris Masters on Thursday, while Alexander Bublik of Kazakhstan beat US fourth seed Taylor Fritz in straight sets.
I'm telling you,
Ah,
Alexander Bublik has been performing miracles this year. He's won 4 titles this year. This is apparently one of his best performing seasons. Won 64% of his matches, and in this year is when he's taking out some big scalps. Taylor Fritz is one of them. Yannick Sinner himself was one of them. So great year for him. But the good news for Taylor Fritz is, I think Taylor Fritz. I don't want to take anything from Bublik's win, because it was excellent. Everything was effective. It was clinical. But also Taylor Fritz will be happy that, look, you know what? I've qualified for the ATP finals in Turin. You can beat me
mm,
now. so, so that I'm not saying he put in his best effort. You could see his frustration that Bublik was just playing excellently on the day. But he'd be happy that at least he'd gotten Turin, he'd qualified for Turin. For Yannick Sinner, though, interestingly, it was a very tight first set, a very easy second set. And in the first set, when it was tight, he started doing like he was cramping again. And I've noticed this thing. So, people have been saying that, when Yannick Sinner lost to Novak Djokovic 2 years ago,
mm,
his coaches went to ask Novak Djokovic what they could do, and Novak Djokovic told them. And if you look at the Yannick Sinner games, it kind of mirrors Novak Djokovic's style. It's not the prettiest. Yes, there are one or two amazing wonder shots in between, but it's very scientific, it's very methodical, it's very clinical. It's like plug and play, and it works every time. So he's a little bit more of a Novak Djokovic, just a Novak Djokovic 2.0. And then you watch Yannick Sinner, and in some matches now, when the matches are tight, he starts showing you that he's cramping, or maybe he's falling sick, or maybe
mm,
he's
mm.
dehydrated, but he's not losing. I'm like, are you sure Novak Djokovic only taught him tactics?
Taught,
maybe,
taught
maybe
him the dark arts as well.
you don't understand. Maybe he dropped in something. I kid you not, especially this season. He will be there saying, "Oh, I'm cramping, I'm dying, my hand is paining me, my ribs are killing me.
But
Oh,
he's
I need
beating you.
water." He's not losing, oh, but after he survives that tight moment, he will beat you convincingly in the next set. So I've noticed it. It's a pattern. I'm not saying anything. You can put 1 point plus one and come up with 22. I'm just saying this is what I've observed. That this season especially, Yannick Sinner has been struggling physically in matches. And you hear the commentators say things like, there's still some worry about whether he's going to be fit for the next match. And he's not losing. It's the same things I used to hear when they were talking about Novak Djokovic. So I'm not liking this part of it. But hey, he's battling, he's winning championships. Let's see how he progresses for the rest of the week.
Let's see how he progresses. Yannick Sinner winning there, marching on. Another team who is not marching on in the world of football, that is Liverpool. Yes, because they crashed out of the League Cup on Wednesday as Crystal Palace's 3-0 win in the fourth round added to the mounting crisis at Anfield. Tega, at this point in time, if Liverpool see Crystal Palace, now to crossroad and run.
I'm telling you, three nil win, third time this season. Like what? How can we avoid this? Like Crystal Palace right now, once they see Liverpool on the board, they'll just put 3 points behind it. Or if it's a cup competition, they'll just put trophy behind it because they kind of have their number on lockdown. They absolutely destroyed Liverpool, and you cannot say it's because they changed a massive number of the starters on the team. Because when you look at it, yes, when I saw the team list against Crystal Palace, I was like, what is Ernest not thinking? Because already your team with the big boys is struggling. And then you're playing against the Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Even Arsenal played Bukayo Saka. It's all I can say. Yes, they tried one or two people. You saw the Dalman play. You saw Waneri play from the
Mm.
start. But even they played Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard. What are you doing?
Was he trying to protect the first team or something?
I mean, it can be a case of both. Or maybe he just accepted that, look, it's Crystal Palace, we are losing again. Whatever it is, Crystal Palace put out a strong team and Liverpool put out their crutch and sub players. It's all I can say. You look at that and you're like, this is not confidence. It can't be. Because when you look at the fact that they've lost 4 matches on the trot, and then you're coming to the League Cup against Crystal Palace, whom you lost twice to this season. How do you put out that team? Some people will say regardless of who they put out, they were going to be beaten anyway. But at least attempt to show that, make a statement. And he didn't do that. So at this point in time, some people were saying, oh, maybe you know that the trophy that Arne Slot won last season, Jurgen Klopp won 0.5 and the Slot won the remaining 0.5 because people are now saying maybe it was not his oil in the first place. Maybe it was the oil of Jurgen Klopp and it just came to fruition in Arne Slot's time. Whatever it is, I don't think, like I said last on Wednesday, I don't think that a good coach suddenly goes bad. I think there is something in Arne Slot's style of football where he played and he won the season last time out. But I also have to accept that we also forget the psychological effect on the team. Remember
Right.
when they lost Diogo Jota? I said this thing that it will look great for now, but there's still going to be some after effects because I think people, even the players themselves, may not exactly understand. You walk into the same locker room where one of your teammates is missing. You play a match where you know that if I would have passed the ball there, if Diogo Jota was around, he would have made that run. If Diogo Jota were there, he would have made that run. And all those things, it does affect the team psychologically. So I'm going to be a little tempered when I'm talking about Liverpool from now on because regardless of what we think, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes and it's a tough ask. The question is this weekend, it becomes even tougher because they face Aston Villa.
Yes. Oh, yes.
There are no
Before
breaks.
no break, so it's Villa, Real Madrid, and then City. It doesn't get any
And then
easier.
City, very, very tough fixtures for Arne Slot. Will he be able to bounce back? Only the future can tell.
Mm. Only future can tell. Tega, we need to take a break, but before we do, very, very quickly, Slot alluded to not having squad depth. Now, after spending all that money, does he have a case?
Oh yes, the squad is not as deep, but the primary he doesn't have that squad depth. But the primary issue is also the psychology of the team, because he spent money now. He brought in players this season. Last season he didn't bring in players. This season he's brought in players and he's complaining about squad depth. No, it's not. I mean, he has a point in it, but it's not the only issue. It's not the
Hmm.
only issue. Some of these players are trained to play 3 matches a week, but he didn't even try the mix and match. So yes, there is a squad depth issue, but it's not the only issue, and it is not the main issue. So that's not the criteria he can use to cry about. All right, because even when he had his full strength team, he didn't deliver on the result. So
All right.
yes, so tough one for him. But also we can touch on the fact that Crystal Palace meet Arsenal next in the League Cup.
In the League Cup, yeah.
Battle of the Stinges. Because both of them are not giving away goals. The Battle of the Stinges is the next one up. We'll talk about that when we come back from the break. Yeah, I know what he was going to say, that squad depth thing, because when you look at the team and the options he had on the table, um, there's some truth to it, but he still had more than enough options to mix and match, like the first team players. Like even the Arsenal that we talk about, that they are deeper this year. How much deeper are they with all the injuries they have? We shout that Arsenal is deeper this year, but truth be told, how much deeper?
I, I, I think they're in a better place. And talking about injuries, how many players are out injured now? Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Saliba, Martinelli. If that list gets
Havertz.
longer, Havertz, if that list gets longer,
Do you understand? They're not exactly in a great place. Some people say, oh, they have an extra defender in Hincapi. But the fact that today Gabriel is out, tomorrow Saliba is out, and Mosquera is still learning the ropes. When you look at the fullback position, and you say, okay, there's White, and he can replace what's his name, Urian
Timber,
Timber, and then there's Calafiori, and he can be replaced by Lewis
Lewis
Kelly.
Kelly.
But Calafiori is just a pretty face. When you wake up in the morning tomorrow, he has picked up injury. I've never seen an Italian that's injured that much. They're, so, they're supposed to be the strong ones, but Calafiori only took the pretty. He plays fantastic football, but you don't know if he will play it throughout the year, because it's
Oh,
like Anthony Davis. There's always a niggle. But it's like
goodness.
me. Oh my God, I was training for this 5K that I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
You
My
pulled hamstring,
brother,
Abby.
I don't want to, because if I complain, they'll say I'm trying to avoid the race. I don't but I did pull a muscle in my groin, I think. And I didn't even pull it from jogging or anything. I was trying to stretch and I just had pack.
Just stretching alone, though.
Just stretching. After the first training session, I was trying to stretch. I had pack. And if I complain now, they say it's because you don't want to run tomorrow. That's why. So I might go out with one leg tomorrow and try. It's a tough life out there. I've been
Yeah.
mocking these footballers, but yesterday, after stretching and pulling, it was not yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. After stretching and pulling something, I can't mock them too much.
It's not Benzo. Over the weekend, I
Ah,
was at a kids party. It was a football party. So the field they used, it was a small field though. It wasn't really big. It was a small field, kind of. So before the party started, I was running around with the kids. So running from end to end, I have gassed out. I say, "Ha!
yes.
What happened? If you now play half field, don't call. What will happen? I will faint."
Ha. It's a tough something. You have to find a way to start keeping up. Just the stretch. I mean, I thought I was up to it. I am up to it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Even if I have to limp across the finish line.
Believe in you. I believe in you. All right, let's get back in. All right, yeah, welcome back into the locker room this Friday morning here on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. We love sports as well, but you already knew this. It's 37 minutes past 8 a.m. My name is Ayokunmi. Welcome into the great world of sports. Tega Supreme is also here. We are doing what I like to call supreme justice to what's going on in the sporting world, and you get to play a part in it. You get to be at the front row. All you need to do is to send your messages in to us on WhatsApp and also on YouTube. Now, the WhatsApp number, it hasn't changed. Well, it has changed depending on how long you've been a part of the Smooth family. 0911 999 0981. 0911 999 0981. You can find us on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. That is where all the behind the scenes conversations and whatnot tends to happen. So do join us there as well. All right, Tega,
Yep.
let us get back into the nitty gritty of the conversation. We're heading to Spain, and we're going to talk about Barcelona here, who will look to recover from their 2-1 El Clasico defeat by Real Madrid when they host Elche in La Liga on Sunday. But they will do so without midfielder Pedri, who is set to miss several weeks due to a leg muscle injury. This Pedri and Gavi situation with injuries there.
It's an interesting one. Pedri in recent times had overcome that mismanagement that they did to him a couple of years ago, but he's been overworked because again, remember that El Clasico, half the problem was that Barcelona was missing some key players through injury. And this
Right.
is what I tell people: you can increase the money that you pay footballers as much as you want, and complain that it's because they are paying them this amount of money that they must play matches till they die. You can increase the money. You can't increase a human output. The wear and tear will still be the same wear and tear as if you were paying them 100 naira. So all those
Mm,
people that make the excuse and say, oh, but they're paying them a lot of money, so they should be able to play a lot of matches. That's not how human physiology works. Okay? And this wear and tear is beginning to show on players across the globe. So he has added to the growing Barcelona list. In fact, there was one, the Barcelona handle did put up a picture of Lamine Yamal's baby brother and some of, I don't know whose baby that was, but those toddlers, they put up a picture and said, with the injury list we're having, these two should be ready to start soon. I said, that's how many people? Because remember, no Rafinha, no Lewandowski, um, Lamine Yamal just came back, but he isn't fully 100%. If you've watched him, no Gavi, and now no Pedri. It's going to be a tough one for Barcelona. And the truth of no Danny Olmo. And the truth of the matter is they don't even have the money to buy. Because remember, they don't have enough space left to register new players. So they have to go to
mm.
that academy, to La Masia, and upgrade some players. It's going to be a tough time for Hansi Flick, seeing that they're already 5 points behind Real Madrid. They don't want to fall any further or any deeper. So it's a tough one, but let's see how it works out for them.
Let's see how that one works out for them. All right, let's come back to England and talk about Chelsea, where their manager Enzo Maresca was left fuming over Liam Delap's late red card in Wednesday's 4-3 League Cup win at Wolverhampton Wanderers, his team's fifth red card in the last 9 matches. We thought the curse was over. Apparently not.
Apparently not. So he has a discipline issue with his players. Even he had the discipline issue because didn't he have a pick up a red card just recently? So he has a discipline issue. That's number one. He had a striker crisis where he was very happy to see the lap back, only for the lap to go and pick up a red card. But he also has another issue, and that is the way he throws his players under the bus. You know, the first time you do it, you're like, he was being honest and he's cute. But if every time a player makes a mistake or every time your team doesn't deliver, you're coming out to say, is the team, is the team, is the team, then you have a problem.
Mm,
And I don't think at this point in time, the players are really loving this Maresca era because there's no protection whatsoever. There's some things you can say in the dressing room. The guy just came back from an injury. You were happy to have him back, but I hate the fact that he so quickly just throws players under the bus and he shouldn't have made that mistake. Oh, he shouldn't have done that error. Okay, he has done it next. And so Maresca has to calm down. I understand his anger, But at the same time, I don't appreciate the way he just keeps throwing his players under the bus. But the good news is that he has to fix and is the words he uses. You won the match by 4 goals to 3. It was a tough one. So it's not like you're defensively solid. It's not like the lapsed red card was the only issue. There
Right.
were other issues. Yeah. So I don't think he should keep. I understand his anger, but I don't think he should keep throwing players under the bus. But he has bigger fish to fry this weekend. He faces a Tottenham side that, well, largely this season has delivered results. And Thomas Frank has worked magic with Tottenham. So I think he should stop crying about the lap picking up a red card and stop using words like stupid foul, and start focusing on how he's going to play against the Tottenham side. Make sure his team finishes with 10 men and he's also on the pitch side, and then he can get all 3 points, because getting a Tottenham after dropping points against Sunderland is not going to be an easy fixture.
Hmm. A London derby. It's
A,
going to be a
a
tough
tough
one.
London derby without strikers. I'm sure that's why he was really mad.
Well, I wish him all the best. Or not. It depends. And-
You're just a hater.
well, I mean, why am I here if not to hate? Let's talk Real Madrid. They will seek substantial compensation from UEFA after a Spanish court on Wednesday dismissed an appeal from European football's governing body relating to the breakaway Super League. What's happening here, Tega?
Okay, so let's round trip a little bit. So remember the Super League that Barcelona, Real Madrid, and some other big clubs in Europe wanted to start. They
Hmm.
were thwarted by FIFA and UEFA, but they took the case to court. And FIFA and UEFA was like, FIFA was like, sorry, the court was like, you are FIFA and UEFA abusing their dominant position, because they cannot stop. They shouldn't be able to stop other football tournaments from happening. That ideally, yes, they are governing football in certain areas, but they cannot. What's the law? They cannot have that monopoly. All right, that what they did was not fair. But in the time that they were in court, UEFA had expanded all its competition. Every competition UEFA had has expanded. And so they've taken up the days. The ones that they didn't expand, FIFA has now expanded their own competitions, including their club competitions.
Yeah.
So that even if the Super League wanted to hold, it cannot hold in any
There's no
time before
space.
there's no space. You have to go to preseason. so so um yes, the court has ruled that UEFA and FIFA cannot stop Super League, but the way that FIFA and UEFA have expanded with their dominance, they have taken up the space. And so Fiorentino Perez especially is now taking them to court and charging them for about 4 billion in damages.
4 billion. Okay.
So I want to say, I'm not a lawyer, but damages wouldn't it be for something that they damage? Can't damage hope now,
I
because
mean,
they've
the
not
competition
started.
exactly
The,
it didn't start.
the competition didn't start. So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer again, so I cannot argue about this case. But can you sue for damages for something that did not yet exist? All right. So that's where
I
we
just
are now.
wonder.
But we'll wait and see how that happens.
Mm. All right, well, we need to run through messages. How has time flown by so very quickly here? A
Yeah,
couple
let's
to
take
get
the
through
messages.
on WhatsApp. Let me start with Felix. Felix says, "Good morning, Mr. Ayokunmi and Madam Tega. Tega, I'm really enjoying your program. Happy weekend. Thank you very much, Felix.
Thank you,
Uh, th-
Felix.
this weekend is packed with exciting fixtures. I hope Liverpool's woes will not continue this weekend. Do you mean
Liverpool Aston
wait?
Villa.
Do you mean will continue? Because I don't understand. What do you mean will not? Will continue this weekend?" And then, okay, Felix, okay, the online platform. All right, I will talk to the engineers about that to make sure that you're able to listen anywhere that you are. Thank you for the feedback. That's Felix from Mende in Maryland. This is Julius texting from the island. His first time actually sending a message in. Julius, you're welcome. He says he's been following for 4 years, and Tega, you are the numero uno sports female journalist in the land, and at least top 5 in the whole country for me. Always on sports, always spot on and impeccable, which is number one, please. Number one.
Thank you,
Um,
Julius. And thank you,
but
Ayo.
God bless your hard work and all your efforts. Please, Tega, don't talk about Liverpool today. I can't take any more banter. Expecting Villa to get a draw. At the least, my team will soon find Wolves oil. Oh, my shit.
Mashu.
Julius, you're lucky this morning that Tega was kind of was cool. I just told her line. If not, if not, okay, okay. Tayo says, Crystal Palace, when they see Liverpool this season, they say, Bewa. Liverpool are suffering. And then he says, in slot, there's lost in it. If you read the letters, that is true. Slots, lost is there. That is very true. He then
True.
says, Trent is no longer there to supply Salah. He was learning Espanol. Pedri dragging jersey only to be injured. Barcelona wants to put Osimhen in their shopping. Please remove that name. Chelsea in fulfillment of red card prophecy. The issue has been taken over by events of FIFA and UEFA. Just drama everywhere. This is
Just
Ibukun
I'm
Ketu
telling
who
you.
says, Tega, tempering comments on Liverpool. Kilode, they are subject to the laws of banter. And
They
then
lost a teammate. We have to have that in the back of our mind.
the,
Empathy, empathy.
The juju and sacrifice Klopp made to ruin the two Manchester clubs has expired. Slot cannot complain about squad depth with 8 players that he bought. All right,
Mm.
Ibuko. Stan says Liverpool's biggest issues is doing away with some important players in their last season, especially Diaz and Kwanzaa, and of course Trent. The replacements are nowhere close, and their current defense is nothing but a shadow of itself. Yes, they missed Jota, but I don't think it matters much as these list of players they sold for no reason last season. I think there was a reason that the players left, either free transfers or I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because and I think Trent's replacement was the worst one, and Kwanzaa sale was shocking to me.
Mm,
Because except you're balancing books, I don't know why you're doing that, and you're not
exactly.
Barcelona.
Exactly. Fred Adoki says, good morning, Ion. Take a supreme. Spalletti is here. I hope he takes my old lady to where she belongs, and that's the top. From your mouth to the ears of the Lord. Fred, I wish you all the best on that
Yeah,
one.
and Roma. What's who's Juventus playing this weekend? But yes,
Milan.
the one. Yeah, the one midweek. No, Roma is playing Milan, I
Roma is
think.
playing Milan. Yeah, Roma is playing Milan.
Yes. Juventus won midweek, 3 goals to 1, and they played fluidly. Um, so let's wait to see how they perform over the weekend under Spalletti.
Fingers are crossed. Mohammed says, Tega, Maresca is right. It was a stupid foul by Delap, and these players don't need pampering as if they are superstars because they are not. Italians don't babysit players. That is their lifestyle. Ask Conte. Even their language is harsh and emotional when they translate to English.
Oh, Mohammed.
Let me go to YouTube very quickly here. LK Adoragba says, I thought Chelsea was bad, but Liverpool is literally telling Chelsea they aren't. I fathom to think the major problem with Poole and Slot. By the way, I'm having Thanksgiving. Gittins has scored a goal. Well, let's see when he scores the next one. Padre Pio says, Arsenal fans feeling like they already won the league. A team that has once botched a 13-point lead? Make una calm down. January is coming. Tibor says, is it true that FIFA has dismissed the refereeing team that officiated the El Clasico match? I don't know about that too. I do not know about that. Ibrahim says, take on top 5K. Take your place in the Hall of Shame. Okay, how? Tega will run that race and she will shame
A
you. She will
whole
shame
a
you.
whole me, Ibrahim. I will shame you this weekend.
Tega Supreme.
Should be
Stop it
tomorrow.
too.
I will shame you.
Then Adini Kadile says, has Jesus ever been fit for a whole season? Good question. This is Namdi Okereke who says, congratulations to Mbappe on winning the Golden Boots. The contenders for this season are already on their way. Mbappe, Holland, and of course, Kane. And Uchina Okoye says, Liverpool, LOL, can they make it 6 straight losses? Slot on the wheels. They should just make it 6 straight. 10 straight, no, 10 straight. All right, we need to wrap it up this morning.
All right. Thank you so much for sending us your messages. They are so numerous. We'll be able to read them eventually, but we want to see more of these messages come in. Thank you for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. Remember, this is weekend football. And you should pray that your team is not fodder for batter. If not, on Monday morning, it will be lit for whoever it is. All right. On that note, we want to say have a fantastic weekend. And if you can, join me in the 5K run/jog or limp, which is what I'll be doing against cancer. All right. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy your weekend, Tegan, and all the best in the marathon tomorrow. Looking forward to talking about that on Monday. And thank you all for being a part of the locker room this morning and keeping it tuned to Smooth 98.1. My name is Ayokunmi Kekiri Ekom. Don't go anywhere.